Who did you expect at the end of all of this? God? The devil, perhaps? No. It's just me.
Kill the intruder.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dusk. Many people don't understand the difference between a nostalgia cash grab and a loving homage. Dusk is a damn good homage, and it's a seriously great game. So great, in fact, I had trouble writing this because I am usually better at finding weak spots than singing praises, as my latest video can confirm, but screw it, this game deserves it. It was released at the 10th of December 2018, right on the 25th anniversary of Doom. This is no coincidence, everything about the game is influenced by the granddaddies it hailed from, even the enemies scream incantations of old.
Blood. Heretic.
So let's start with the visuals where the influence is the most obvious. If the game is still not looking old enough for you, then I suggest you go to the graveyard and dig up some bones to love. Or use one of the many customization options and filters to make the game look as grimy, clowny, trippy, or pixely as you want. And if you feel a need to vomit, then just set it to a deeper field of view, all the way until the game labels you cynical. I don't need to tell you that the game looks old on purpose, true, but even in here there are some lighting effects that would bring old-timey computers to their knees. So please, do not try to play this game on your calculator or birth control test like people do with Doom, because the result could be... yeah. Frankly, I never tempered with any of the settings. The game's good as it is. Let's take a look at the art style next. Dusk is split up into 3 episodes, each featuring an individual theme. You start the journey in the outskirts of Dusk, which are covered by woods, swamps, the occasional farmhouse, and a maze-like cornfield. Naturally, your enemies will be hillbillies with chainsaws, shotgun scarecrows, occult Triple K rejects because why not, and even Black Phillip broke out of his movie to visit. The second episode moves you into the city and some underground research bases. The military becomes more prominent and things start to drift from occult slasher flick to MC Escher weird. This is even represented in the level design, and actually this is a lot of fun, I'll get to that later. And the third episode, called The Nameless City, is where everything just flies off the handle. Think of different dimension, chock full with otherworldly beings, and every enemy type you previously encountered. While you're exploring those levels, you might feel a déjà vu coming up. The influences are clearly visible in the monster design and the levels, but the game still manages to be its own thing. Sometimes beautiful, sometimes scary, but never boring. Just the way Daddy likes it. In Dusk, you play as the Dusk Dude, who came to the fictional town of Dusk to look for treasure. But instead of treasure, you find the region populated with a strange cult that abducts you and hangs you up on meat hooks. And giving a butcher a meat hook was probably their first and definitely last mistake. And apart from delving into some horror elements here and there, that's basically as deep as the story goes. One more thing that stands out are the controls. Inertia doesn't seem to exist in this world. You can even navigate while airborne and do somersaults if you yank the mouse hard enough. As a result, the movement in this game is fast-paced and crisp. Peeking around the corner or rushing through a horde of monsters makes you feel like a bunny on speed. And speaking of bunny hopping, that is also in the game. Along with some other neat tricks like rocket jumping and this. Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to do that. But seriously, despite or maybe because of the lack of many mechanics the modern shooters feature today, Dusk feels kinda refreshing. You got no auto-heal, no fixed covers to cower in. The only things you can do are move, jump, and shoot. And you also don't need to reload. Instead, you rotate your weapons, which does some minimum amount of damage but is otherwise useless. It just adds to the cool factor. The game is super simple in its design, but simplicity done right allows for incredibly creative gameplay, and in Dusk, it shows. The only thing you really have to do is reach the exit, and the game doesn't care how you do it. You are not even required to kill a single enemy, bosses included. You can speedrun the game as well.
Kill the intruder.
Kill him.
And you will even get a reward for all those accomplishments. But real talk, why would you let the enemies live when it's so much fun to blow them up? And why would you speed through the levels when there is so much to explore? Dusk has a lot of secret areas to discover, and of course the secrets don't stick out unless you go out and look for them. There's a good chance you will miss a lot of those secrets in your first playthrough. You also have your standard variety of keys. Pretty much every level holds a blue, red and yellow key for the doors of the same color, just as Doom and Wolfenstein did it. But the difference is that the devs anticipated that some creative players would just try to break the game by strafing, box jumping or whatever. Sometimes a church can be entered in more ways than just a door. And the game is not even punishing you for sequence breaking. On the contrary, sometimes you get outright rewarded for your attempt to break the game. We haven't even talked about the enemies and weapons yet. The enemies you're going to butcher by the hundreds don't seem to have a doctor degree. In fact, I don't think they have any kind of education because they usually just rush you down. But don't underestimate them because they are many. So goddamn many. And depending on which difficulty you play, they can feel like a light breeze in the wind. Or like a truck that blindsided you in one of those 90s horror movies. The easiest one sets the enemies and the projectile speed so slow you can literally bypass bullets. But the harder the difficulty, the faster and more ouchy the projectiles become. The base health and number of enemies stays the same for every run though. And naturally I played the game on Zero Miedo, which is recommended for Twitch vets and ego shooter enthusiasts. And I can agree, the game seems to be made with this difficulty in mind. Everything below Zero Miedo is way more manageable, and might even be suited for your first FPS experience. So you got a lot of enemies and of course a lot of weapons to deal with them as well. And here I have a nitpick. Most of the guns you find in this game I would categorize as your standard ass-kicking arsenal. You get a pistol, then 2 pistols, a shotgun, then 2 shotguns, and a super shotgun, and sadly not another super shotgun. Special mention goes to the sword and the crossbow because these are the most interesting weapons. The crossbow is able to pierce every wall and any enemy, often causing a shish kebab situation where you only targeted one enemy and took everyone behind them with you. And the sword is absurdly strong and can deflect projectiles with a simple block. You can also find some very interesting power-ups, like a full auto mode that can stack, and then there's the syringe that turns the game into super hot for a while. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like the mode very much at the beginning, but in the later levels it kinda grew on me because it gives you the chance to take out the most annoying enemies first. Dusk also features several items in the world you can use for different purposes. You can drink beer, you can grill a steak and then eat it, and when you're done, find a toilet and simply flush it. Come on, I don't need more brown stuff in the game. Blood and guts is enough, thank you very much. And if you keep your eyes open, you can even find makeshift weapons. Saw blades come to mind, which are incredibly strong, but they're nothing compared to a simple bar of soap. And I'm not joking, it one-shots everything, and I do mean everything. Not even bosses are safe. Now, what to say about the level design? Well, it's great. The enemies are dumb, true, and numerous, but the game is no stranger to strategically placing its meat shields where they are the most annoying. That being said, new enemy types are introduced one by one, and even bosses get downgraded to simple mook level later on as you move through the game. So in addition to your cannon fodder salad, you get a hefty side of boss beef every once in a while. Except for this boss.
Big John. Yeah, it's me. Come on, kill me! I'm here, kill me! Do it now! Kill me!
Also, the levels get kind of big later on and feature some traps, so you better watch out. And we haven't even talked about the best part yet. This game features 43 different tracks. And not just 10-second loops. I am talking about 43 full-length tracks that have a surprising range and masterfully underline the current mood of the level you're in. When shit goes down, heavy guitar riffs and a stomping beat will be your company. And when entering a bizarre or spooky place, the music knows to hold back. The range on these tracks is incredible. And it's not just the music. The overall sound effects are also very well implemented. A gun really feels like a gun, and you can always hear how much damage it will do. The soundscape lends the game just that much more immersion, and I love it for it. So, in conclusion, Dusk is way more than just a nostalgia cash grab. If you can, get a copy. You will not regret it. Hey guys, thank you for watching again. So, this video should be a little bit on the short side because I used up all my powder in the last video, but you know what, better short than sweet than long and tedious, right? I did not receive any questions to answer for my backers yet, so I will just end this video right here, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.